Hey Alpha Strikers, what's up? This is Eric and Mike, and today we're doing our very first collaboration with Matt from Games Rule.
Welcome, Matt. Appreciate you joining us today. It's very kind of you to do a collaboration with us.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Right on. So we've decided that because Matt does this really awesome video on kind of talking about the difference between pro registration and anti-registration, we want to talk about the Civil War, kind of our experiences with it, and just have that general overall topic. So for our first collaboration, we're talking about Civil War OP. All right, Eric, where are we starting off?
So each of us, in turn, we want to think about what was done right with the OP.
All right.
And we also want to talk about what we enjoyed and liked the most about it so far. So
Okay.
alphabetical order, that'd be me. So I'll go ahead and start.
I get stuck with the last on that. Alphabetical order is so unfair. All right, anyway.
So, so first of all, what I liked about the OP was that how simple it was. Like, it's basically like you get your 5 figures and you go. You don't have to build a team really. You don't have to overthink it too hard. It's like you pick per reg. Here's your red figures. Here's your anti-fids. You know, they're all blue figures, and you're neutral, of course. I like that. And the point values are all low enough. You can kind of calculate dials, and you could get the feeling for the event, and it wasn't too overcomplicated. So a new player come to the event, start rolling some dice, click some dials, and see how it feels to play Heroclix. That's one thing I liked.
All right. What else? Is that all you got, or?
For right now, yeah. I might think of something later. But
All right, Matt.
Matt?
What about you?
Well, you started the topic about how easy it is to build a team and how the set was designed. I would say it's a very easy set to collect. There's only 5 super rares. There's no primes, no chases. It's a total difference between that and War Alliance, where there were so many chases you had to get, so many super rares and primes. I have a friend who already has a full made set already, and there's only been 2 months, and I think that is good, and it will help secondary market prices as well.
As far as what I really enjoyed about it, the fact that it was really based off the comic storyline. The first map I saw was the explosion that started the Civil War in the storyline. I really liked that it had just that solid feel of, you were pro-reg or anti-reg. And, I have to touch on what Eric said, low point values. It was really nice to see that all the figures were between 60 to, 90 points?
I think 80 is the highest in the thing. Oh, no, it's 90. You're right.
90.
Yep.
So 60 to 90 made the point builds really easy. I love the colored dials, the red and then the blue. It was just really awesome. And a lot of good, named figures rolled out in this. And, good power sets, really usable. I mean, just overall... really great, and I do agree, small set, easy to collect, and those prize figures, totally looking forward to those grand finale prizes, the duo, and all the amazing prizes that have been previewed.
Oh, those grand prizes are going to be hard to snatch. I can feel it.
Well, that being covered for what we felt was done right, obviously the introverse to that is what we would have liked to have seen, or what we felt could have been done better, or overall what was problematic. We'll start back with Eric.
I really wanted Fantastic Four figures. As long as I've been playing Heroclix, I've never actually owned a Fantastic Four Heroclix. I have the LE Spider-Man Fantastic Four figure because I'm a Spider-Man fan.
The Future Foundation.
Yeah, the one attached to the glass window. Oh, such a cool.
Oh no,
sculpt.
that one's from Incredible Hulk.
Yep, that's just a cool figure. But I'm one of those guys in Clicks where I started playing way back in Amazing Spider-Man. That's my first real set, so I was really excited about that. And they've since then never printed Fantastic Four figures. There were some, I think I got the Guardians a few sets prior, which I did happen to see my other friends playing, but I never got to get them. So I really wanted to see them in this set. And aside from that, I only read the book one time through, and it's been a long time since I read it, so I couldn't tell you what I really wanted to see. I guess besides there's that Spider-Man with his mask taken off, I did want that figure. That was what I really was hoping they would do.
Spider-Man fanboy.
I really am, and it rings throughout all my life. I love Spider-Man. It's my favorite. So when Superior Foes comes out, oh, you're gonna see Giddy Man over here. But yeah, that's just my big thing. Matt?
Well, I run the events for my local area, and as a judge, I have to handle the prizes and how that's handled and everything. And one of the things I really wish this would have had that previous, storyline organized play events had was participation prizes. War of Light, you had the Green Lantern pieces. We even had the little, 3D objects you could collect. In the past, there's been resources and pieces that go on that. But this time around, you get the pieces in your boosters, and that's it. I mean, even the bounty cards have no game effect whatsoever.
They do
so,
nothing,
as a judge, it's hard to sell the event when it's just like the person who comes in first is going to get the grand prize LE figure. The person in second, most likely any super rare that was pulled. And if you come in third and fourth both times, I hope you had fun.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. That is a good point. I never even thought about that. We were spoiled all those other events getting participation prizes with the Phoenix resource getting all those pieces every month, the War of Light figures and constructs. That was just spoilage right there.
You are not wrong.
Wow.
As far as what I would have liked to see better, Eric stole my Fantastic Four. There's some people in the lineup that I wish I would have seen. This poster behind us here is cut straight from the comic, and I count at least 3, if not all 4, of the Fantastic Four there, and they were left out. Now I understand there's some licensing issues going on there. Fox, please just no, it's not Fox. Is it Fox or Sony? Whoever's got it, just give it up. Just
Fox.
It's Fox.
Just
yeah,
let it go.
You're right.
Let it go, guys. Just abandon that project, give it back to those guys, sell it back to them, make a profit, and go from there. The Battle Royale. This is a great format for a lot of different things, but with the Civil War, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. I think more of an AVX kind of go at it would have been better, because you would have had more of the feel of the anti-reg versus the pro-reg. You'd support your team the whole way, and you could actually kind of play out the storyline, kind of like they had the different maps of AVX. They could have done that as the months went on with the Civil War OP. So you could start with the crater and then go to the next big scene, and the next big scene is the story evolved, and they have the final showdown. And that would have been really, really awesome. And overall, the power balance, like you said, Matt, in your video, we sat down before our last event. We looked at our figures and we tried, okay, if we get stuck with anti-registration, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? How is this going to play out?
Because do they have a chance? That's the real question.
Do they have a chance? From what I was able to find out is that you're pretty much supposed to run up and base the other guys, take a hit, and then you probably, if you take about 2 damage, most of those figures land on flurry, so you get 2 swings at them on the return. So, I mean, you're meant to run out there, take a hit to the face, and then hopefully retaliate twice as hard. But that's not how people play Heroclix. It's all about, pardon the coin of the phrase, the alpha strike.
Yeah.
You got to hit them first and not get hit back. So expecting people to suddenly play, I'm going to run out there and take a hit to the face and then hit you back twice as hard, it's not what we're used to. So that playstyle hasn't been practiced, and overall, the anti-registration just loses. And then because of the range game, it's got a lot of power to it.
Even though a lot of them have initial deflection, they still seem to always hit me when I'm playing them. So it's like 19 defense. Go ahead and try 8.
And then, I do appreciate the Battle Royale and the snake draft option, but I really think if you're going to snake draft, don't throw a big prize in there. I mean, you're gunning to win that first prize, and you don't get first place, you're not going to get it. Like you said, your next best bet is the super rare. And if you don't get that, well, hey, thanks for playing. You get to pick out the figures that maybe you didn't have. And, to counter what I had said earlier, this being a really small set, like you said, people already have a full set in month 2. Why are they going to go buy in for the next month? They've got everything. I'm not going to waste money on that unless, of course, the grand prizes you have to build up points as you go on. But I mean, I feel like I'm just throwing my money away. Why am I buying more of these figures? The way people buy clicks nowadays, they buy it by the brick, they buy it in bulk, and there's not a lot of low-level trading going on anymore. It's all chases and super rares. And if you don't have those, you might as well, make art out of your Heroclix, sculptures, put them all together, whatever.
Just, make a pyramid, then flick it over.
But, yeah, that's That's my beefs. So
It's pretty good beef right there.
all right, so up next, we decided to cover what we thought would be the absolute dream poll for each side. So with Civil War OP, it is a sealed event. You do get to keep your 2 figures for your chosen faction, and then you receive 2 from your opponent and your neutral figure. So we thought, when you do a sealed poll, you're always thinking, oh man, what's the best possible figure I could pull, or what's the best possible team? So with this being a small set, we figured, what's the best that could happen. So what did you pick for ProReg, Matt? Who's your dream team?
Okay, I think I have to base it around one figure, and that one figure is the only figure in the set that has telekinesis. That is Songbird.
Yep.
Not only does she have telekinesis, she has Justice Like Lightning trait. She also has leadership and barrier. She will play so much usefulness in moving pieces around. To go with Speed Freak as my neutral. He's just super useful. You can TK him out there, hypersonic. He has the precision strike, so you can get past super senses, grab, and bring them back. And then just an ultimate Swiss Army knife Taskmaster. He can just switch to Outwit, Perplex, Psychic Blast, Exploit. He's a wild card. And then Radioactive Man. He's a really sturdy, close combat-y person. A Songbird, really nice, can TK out there, and then he can tie people up and maybe try to poison them and stuff. And he also has the Justice Like Lightning trait.
Yep.
And then finally, Iron Man for 80 points. That once per game ignore defensive powers is nice. He can leadership off of anybody because he counts as 100 points. He's flyer, so he can carry somebody. He's just a useful piece for 80 points. So that was my pro registration dream team.
All right, Eric, who's your ProReg dream team?
He almost took my exact team. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to go Iron Man as my common, Radioactive Man as my uncommon. Speed Freak I wouldn't mind getting, but I'm being realistic with my uncommons. I thought it would maybe be somewhere near like Gold Bug, because that's just my luck to get Gold Bug. It's weird.
But this is a dream team. This is in a perfect world, so it's Speed Freak.
I know Speed Freak, obviously, but I think Taskmaster and Songbird are good. I would almost pick Venom over him, just because I want the shape change sidestep. Because if Speed Freak's coming, he's not tying up my guy.
That's true.
Unless he lassos me, he can actually still grab me 2 squares away. 'Cause he's got 4 range. But yeah, it's almost the exact same team as Matt. I just want Venom on there instead of Taskmaster.
Okay, fair enough. I have played Taskmaster twice already, and as amazing as he is, he didn't actually make my dream team. I started off with Iron Man, just as a good solid base for the leader of the team. Got that range, the sidestep, the outwit. I went with Iron Spider because I played him a couple times, and
Iron Spider.
that triple target with in-cap and running shot, flight, shape change, super senses, he is just a beast. And the Spider-Man wildcard team ability, he's all over the place and really, really hard to pin down. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. A Wasp. Oh man, I love that Wasp figure. You roll a 6 on that shape change, somebody's trying to shoot you, you just go base them, and you ruin their day. Shape change, super senses. Again, I've got 2 rollouts. So far I've got Spider-Man Wasp with 2 shape change, super senses, Iron Man. I threw in just an overall beat stick of She-Hulk, just because I really like the charge and super strength with adding the action token after the fact. And honestly, hands down, it comes to Speed Freak. He is just the best neutral figure that's out there. Y'all saw me totally wipe out Goliath in month 2, I believe it was. Yeah. Wow.
That was rough, dude.
That was brutality at its best. So what do you got for your anti-team? Let's hear the top tier anti-registration team. It's gonna win everything every time. Perfect poll.
Do I have to play this team?
Yes.
Okay. This one's a little bit harder because, like you said, the strategy with an anti-team is more about being able to withstand the initial attack and still get up on them and stuff. So I thought about pieces that maybe would be harder to hit at range, with some ESD and stuff. So I went Falcon because he has super senses against ranged attacks. I went Captain America because he has energy shield deflection and he can leadership off of everybody. I went Luke Cage because he's super durable and can reduce penetrating damage. He doesn't start out with willpower, which is disappointing, but He does have early game in power to help Falcon and Cap do some more damage. And then for the range part, it's Punisher. Even though I played him month one and wasn't completely thrilled with him, he does have a lot of really nice ranged abilities. And he does bounce onto running shot and outwit, with outwit just being super useful. And finally, Speed Freak. So,
Speed Freak.
Speed Freak is almost more important on an anti-registration team. So he can run out there, grab somebody, pull them back to your murder crew, and just get punched in the face really hard. So I think you really need Speed Freak in this team. That's my team.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong. Speed Freak is like the go-to neutral. So on mine, it's a little bit different. I, of course, started out with Captain America because, you know, this guy is awesome. I really wish he had, like, charge or running shot, but, you know, sidestep's fine, too. And then, of course, I had to pick my man Spider-Man because he's got that ESD, charge, flurry, and can sidestep after he hits you. So that's really great. And then I also wanted to have Vision. I want Vision in there. I love his like utility and support. He can carry people around.
You played him both months that we recorded, and he really didn't do a whole lot of anything except live.
But I think if he had Cassie Stature as my neutral, I think them two together would be great because they can kind of, you know, she can carry him around. He can then get the pen side better. He gives her plus into her defense. She's like a 19 base defense at that point. He can be at 18 with super senses if you want him to be. I think those two pair together would be a lot better. So maybe in constructed if I can, I'm going to try them together and see how they do. Or I'll get lucky on month 3 or 4. We'll see. And then my last piece would be the Punisher for the range game and the outwit. Because once again, I think that either, you know, Vision or Stature could carry him around, put him in a position he could sidestep and just shoot. I would like to have Wiccan on there, but I don't think it would happen in the poll.
Dream Team, dude. Dream Team.
I have to think logical polls, though.
No, this is make up your best team that you could possibly pull day. That you basically pull the equivalent of a God Pack between you and your opponent, and you got the best team.
Can you pull a super rare, what's it called? Neutral and a rare or super rare?
Yeah, if your opponent, if you pull the super rare neutral and your opponent pulls the super rare faction and it goes to you, you get 2 super rares.
That's true.
That's true, but that's a rare. And then such as a super rare. So if I'm pulling...
I don't know that you would get the rare.
I wouldn't get that as well. So I'm trying to calculate. If I had 1 super rare and 1 rare, that's who I'd want.
Okay, so still within the rarity pulls.
Yes.
But, you know.
That's my dream team right there.
So I have to agree with everybody. Punisher is where it's at. Those tokens, you know, I played him at our month 2 event, off camera, of course. And, yeah, he kind of let me down, but it was more dice than anything. I just could not hit the roll even with 3 dice. My dice had just abandoned me that day. I think Eric's been praying a little too hard. But overall, he is just an absolute beast. As Eric said, I would throw in Wiccan as well, just because he is amazing. He's got your Plex, Prob, Outwit, Taxi, Energy Shield Deflection, and Mystics.
So hitting him is not good.
Right. And then because I've got that Mystics available, I was going to throw in Spider-Man because he's got that really awesome charge. Kind of disappointed he doesn't start with Super Strength. You know, it's something he picks up mid-dial, which is kind of difficult, but, you know, still definitely usable. It's got that breakaway. I actually went with Silhouette because she's got a really awesome taxi ability that if she is in hindering terrain, she can take another character and place them 4 squares out, and then they can take their action afterward because they weren't actually carried. So I think this is a piece that's been kind of overlooked on top of she has that giant reach too. So I mean she's bringing a lot to the table for 60 points.
And shape change.
Yeah, and I think she's been overlooked a little bit because she could really drop in somebody heavy. You know, if you're playing the defensive game, letting somebody come to you first. So she was an inclusion for my anti. And then Tigra. Oh my goodness. Blaze Claws, 4/5/6 shape change, gets a precision strike against the a faction for choice, has Empower, 11 attack, charge, you know, ignores, I believe it's hindering. She is just amazing. I figure if I drop her off with Silhouette, with Wiccan on a backup for prop control, maybe some Perplex, Punisher finishing off the shot to get up some more ammo tokens, and then Spider-Man just running some interference and cleanup, that would be my absolute dream team.
Fair, fair.
Except that I forget she's actually a rare.
She
So
is a rare.
I guess I'll have to sub out Punisher for Cap to make that dream team happen. Because Punisher's awesome, but I'd rather have Tiger over Punisher. So
It's fair.
So with our dream teams being covered, I think we already somewhat covered this, but the best figures, our top 3 picks. So out of the set, including prize pieces, what are the top 3 pieces that you cannot live without? When you walk away from this event, you want to make sure you have at least these 3 pieces in your collection. What are you looking for, Matt?
Well, the first one for me is Wasp. I like Indomitable, but it definitely has some negative consequences for the game. Tiny size, I love. I don't think it affects the game in any negative way. So anytime they come out with a new tiny size piece, I must have it. It's too fun to carry them around, and they can do stuff. They did nerf them a little bit with the whole breakaway stuff, but I love it. Like you said, shape change, super senses, tiny size, so extra defense from range combat expert. So good of a piece.
A little piece like that just snipers you like that.
She's so awesome. I played her, the first month?
Yeah.
And then my Dano, my team member, played her, and I was just like, oh, she is so good. Must have her.
Indeed. Next one?
The other 2 pieces really aren't because of how good they are. It's more because of the teams I play, and they have to be Wiccan and the other one, Stature. Because I'm a huge Young Avengers fan. Sadly, they're both super rares, but if I had to choose 2 more pieces I have to walk away with from this set, it'd have to be them. I'm so happy to see them remade, even though I wish we would have got a new Iron Lad with it. But I'm just so happy. The Wiccan's a little overpriced in my experience, but the Stature's awesome, and I love how they can play together with Patriot and Hulkling and stuff like that. So those would be my 3
I forgot about
pieces.
him. He's good. All right, Mike, you want to go next?
Sure. Well, my 3 must-haves takeaways from this. I must have the Cloak and Dagger duo. They did a duo a long time ago. They released the individuals in the Amazing Spider-Man set, and when I saw that they were releasing another duo, I was like, that is the Great White Whale. I must go for that piece. I must have it. So overall, after that, it really came down to, there was a lot of figures, just playability, but for collection-wise, Wiccan, son of Scarlet Witch, big fan there, Mike Nito and all that. So I was actually really sad to hear when he died in the comic book. So I was glad that
Spoilers.
they finally. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say when he died, but he did die at some point. I really just had to have one of him. I was really excited to get him. And then really the Punisher. And it's funny because they're both anti-registration, but when I saw what he did, I think he's gonna end up on Mike Nito's new recruits here very, very soon. But those were 2 of my top claims.
Well, the ones I really, really have to get, I have to have the Spider-Man Unmasking. The grand prize, I have to have him. I think he'll be the best defensive call-in for Spider-Man ID card ever done. With the 18 defend, his card gives you super senses, and he gives people shape change too. That's his trait. I know.
You can't target me for a turn.
That's just so cool. So,
drop that next to Sinestro from the Injustice, and now we've all that 18 defense with ESD, shape change, and super senses.
Swinging 20s, hopefully, plus maybe?
Maybe, with 2 rollouts? Yeah, good luck.
Yep. So that's one of my must-haves as far as the grand prize at least goes. I really had to have this new Mac Gorgon Venom. I am a Spider-Man and Spider-Man foes fanatic all the way through. I didn't even know that Matt Gorgon became Venom. It didn't trigger. But the fact that Scorpion was Venom for a bit, that's pretty cool. So I had to have that one.
Quick note, we are getting a Scorpion in the Superior Foes of Spider-Man. It's about time.
And a Shocker, and Electro, and all of them.
We got Shocker and Electro with Amazing Spider-Man, but we haven't had a Scorpion since Web of Spider-Man. That was before Oreo Dials. I mean, what happened?
Yeah, I know. It's okay though. I'm excited for that set.
And who else did you have?
Let's see. Besides him, I really wanted to get the 2 figures, the Cap and Iron Man pieces together. I only have the Cap right now. You can see him there. I think these are gonna be really great ID card call-ins for 80 points. Like, they don't have a whole lot of movement, but honestly, if you're ID card calling in and you're up that close, you're gonna get a good hit in. Plus,
3 stock clicks. Good luck taking those.
they're not
points.
taking the points from me. There's no way. Unless they blow their whole turn, they're not taking that extra 80 points off of me. So it's really that, and then, I mean, since those are kind of a pair, I consider them, the only other one I'd want to have is a Punisher. He is a rare. I will eventually, hopefully, get one. I won't want to pay the $20 to $35 to get one. Same thing for Taskmaster.
$15.50 on certain auction sites.
If you get lucky and find that low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got lucky. He's going up, so...
Yeah, and that's Eric's absolute need to collect them all that he actually listed 4 instead of 3.
Yes, I am... those two together, okay? They're a picture. It's
No,
fine.
with those 2, you also threw in yet another one. So
I did?
Unmasking Spider-Man, Venom,
Oh.
the 2 prize figures.
Whoops.
So he actually got 5.
I'm really
5.
excited.
We told him top
Sorry,
3, and
guys.
he came out with top 5. So,
I'm just that overexcited. My bad.
all right.
I have
and
to
then
have them all.
the last
Go
thing we want to cover, experiences at the events. Now you said you run your event. Do you get to play at all, or?
I don't play in the battle royales because it's really hard having multiple players. You can only choose 4 to play in it. But I do play in the. We have 2 separate events. We have the battle royales one week, and then another week we have just like a sealed type of event. So I play in that one usually, unless we have like over 9 people.
So let me interrupt you there a little bit. We've never seen that. Explain to us how a sealed open your booster and play is. Do you guys swap figures at all to go pro and anti, or you guys just play 2 and 2 and go?
Well, we set up a rule at the very beginning where you have to choose your side, either pro or anti. And then when you open up your boosters, we've set it up, each player buys 2 boosters. And you open it up, and you should have enough to make a 300-point team out of the 4 of your faction, and then 2 neutrals. So, and then we gave everybody one opportunity during the 4 months to switch sides. So that allows them to play both their collections if they really want to.
I want to go to your venue. That sounds to me like how it should have played out.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly,
that sounds
that's
pretty
awesome.
cool. We've been doing the straight, whatever WizKid says goes kind of a thing for all of the events. So those battle royales are rough. So go on with your experiences. Continue. Explain how it was for you.
Okay, well, I noticed the first month you were talking about choosing pro or anti. We had a good even split between pro and anti. We had 4 pro, 4 anti. But after the first month was over and players got to play the pieces, we had 2 players instantly switched to anti. And then the second month happened, and a third one, who's one of our best players, who is ranked one of the highest players in the nation for rock events, like 7th, 8th place overall with the antis.
Whoa.
He's like, I'm switching to for the 3rd month. I think when we get to the end, it's probably going to be like 90% pro and 10% anti at that point. So.
Yeah, it just goes to show the power's where the pieces are, man. And those red dials are winning it. For the most part.
Most definitely. So, Eric, you've been to at least one more event than me. How was your turnouts?
Well, I really like the whole month 1 thing. The Battle Royale format is super tense in this format because, of course you have, in month 1, it's all versus all, so no one's your buddy. So you're basically sandwiched between 2 people no matter where you are on the board. Go. Like, do you split your forces? You just focus all on one dude? You feel bad because you're kind of beating up your buddy next to you, could be, you never know. I just, I felt over the place, I didn't know how to play that way. I don't play a lot of battle royales. Like, if I ever go to events, I'll just play just the big head-to-head 1-1 events, and if I do have a chance, I'll play one side event because I'm bored or I got kicked out, whatever. But in this, when I feel there's prize on the line at the end and then the snake draft, you really want to get those points so you can get the first picks. Because in month 1, no one has anything. So whatever's out there, you really want to get whatever you can early. And I was just stressed. I mean, you guys saw our recorded one we did, and that was a slog. That was the back and forth hit, and like watching them all fight and who to go after and pick off points best I could. That was hard. And then in month 2, the teams I liked a little bit better, but being so far from your teammate makes it really hard to get help from them. Like some of the effects will trigger off from the characters and stuff like that, but it's like, help me, they're all sandwiching me, and they have to cross the entire board and then hopefully not take the backlash from the other half into their figures to kill them as well, and you can't help them either. The team aspect, I don't know if it worked very well. I appreciated the try, but in both the events I played, I feel like my teammate and I couldn't ever collaborate to do anything. And when we did collaborate, my dice sucked. Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Needed a 5, couldn't get it. Those dice, man, they're just cruel, cruel mistresses.
My experience in the events overall, the battle royales, they're not my favorite venue because, well, I guess they are, because people usually ignore me. They see me as this really big threat that they don't want to take on, so they want to take on, wherever they smell the weakness. And I usually end up coming in afterward and cleaning up. But, I feel underhanded when I do that. It's just like, I like a nice clean game between two people, just, battling it out. But just, sneaking in and sniping points and, it just doesn't feel right. And, there's always one guy at the table who just gets beat. He misses one roll, missteps his tactics or whatever, and everybody's like, dogpile. Okay, now he's done. Let's see who took the most damage and who's next weakest on the chopping block. It just really that's how battle royale always comes out. It's everybody dogpiles on one guy, and then there's an uneasy alliance to take out the second place guy, and then whoever took the most damage usually ends up losing. And if you come out on top, great, and that can usually be easily accomplished by avoiding combat to begin with, and then rolling in and sniping those kills.
Yeah.
But one thing I don't, that I was not enjoying with the battle royale is, like I said, the snake draft. A lot of people, when they buy a booster, they want to keep what they've got. And by the end of the second month, you get down to the last 5 figures, and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna take this bounty card because I have all that other stuff, But overall, I had some really good experiences. I managed to complete almost my whole collection just off of that. The guys we play with are really cool. We usually kind of talk about, well, I have that guy, he's the rare, then the rest of you need him because I've already got one. If you don't need him, I'll take him, but if you guys really want him, I'll take something else, my next pick in the list. We're really kind of fellowship when it comes to that. It's not all, well, I'm just going to take the prize because, it's the
worth
prize.
the most money. And
It's, oh, do you need that? Okay, I'll pick the next thing down the line. And it works out pretty well at our venue.
Yeah,
but
all good guys.
I have to admit, I'd much rather have seen a one-on-one like what you guys run at your shop. Sign me up. I will buy the plane ticket now.
That's a long ways to travel just to play Heroclix.
Just play clicks.
I've seen people travel farther, so.
But yeah, I am looking forward to finishing this out, but not looking forward to all the duplicate figures that aren't going to go anywhere. And then as far as, unfortunately, the grand prizes at our event, we had our judges doing it by your kill points. And we had one guy in the first month pulled down 400 points.
Oh, man.
And the rest of us in month 2, the best we walked away with was maybe 200. And luckily he wasn't there for the second month because he had to work, but if he's there for 3 and 4, we're cooked. He's going to get his pick of the litter. So, I don't know. As far as those grand prizes go, I think there should have been something else that was more set in stone on how that was taken care of or how those prizes were distributed. Just my humble opinion.
Yeah.
But never know. I might walk away with a big one.
And then I had one more question for you, Matt, at your venue. When you do the blind prize boosters, do you leave it sealed in the prize pool to pick the blind booster, or do you actually open it first and then say they can pick that?
That's a great question. So after everybody's done playing, I'll go get the prize pack and I'll just open it up and put it in the middle with everything else. And what's really interesting, I'm happy you brought that up because I wanted to mention this. We've had 2 months, and we've had 2 cases brought in over the so 4 cases total. And out of all those prize packs, we haven't seen a single Sentry LE figure.
You mean this guy right here?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a huge Sentry fan, and I really wish, instead of having it been blind, I wish they just would have had sent a set of each of the 6, with each prize pack, so that you knew exactly, I have another chance for that Night Nurse, I have another chance for that Sentry, instead of it being random,
Yeah. I agree. We're gonna do the same thing. Our judges will come over, open the booster, and put it in the center so we all know what's there. That way we're not like saying, well, I already have such pieces. If I pull that booster, will I pull a duplicate, and then no one might want it. I prefer seeing what's there. So I say, oh, I already have this piece. Anyone want this? I'll take the next super rare up or whatever. That's how we communicate that. So everyone gets kind of a chance at the prize pieces. We don't just snake them for the money and try and shoot them online or whatever.
Now, I've got a question for you, Venue. As far as the bounty cards, do you hand those out at random, or
Do you actually do you even use them? I mean,
I almost want to just throw them away now. I mean, so I had this ingenious idea of, because there's going to be an imbalance with the pro players and the anti-players. There'll probably be more pro players than anti-players. But I was going to spread them out evenly between the players. So if there's like 2 anti-players, they'll get like a full set of both of them. The problem is there's only like 7 out of like 13 of the characters made into bounty cards, and they send you the same exact bounty cards every single month. So at the end of all 4 months, you're just going to have 4 copies of them all. You're not going to have like a 100% chance to KO anything and kill something. So like the first month we did it, they basically had no effect. I think maybe 1 person was able to kill something. And then the second month we did it, and I actually forgot to give them out the second month's Battle Royales, and nobody noticed until the very end.
Oh, jeez.
So I just have them sitting in the venue, just sitting there, and I'm just like, if you want one, you can take one. They're just,
They are what they are. We were discussing it during month 2 after the fact, and we're considering about convincing our judge to, like, let us build our teams, pick our sides, draft our teams, get everything ready, go around and just like, we can pick one of the figures that there's an ID card on, like, okay, you have Wasp, I want to target that Wasp, and then you can look at my team like, you have Spider-Woman, I want to target Spider-Woman, because those are the cards, and then you can hand us the respective cards, and since the store is going to have 4 copies of each or whatever, if they stop giving them out, then we can actually make sure they have a possible use in all of my games. With the exception, I think the first one that we recorded, I have pulled a absolutely worthless card.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and that's worthless. Three different cards that do absolutely nothing. And I really feel that was something that, maybe could have been thought out a little bit better, or maybe ruled a bit better on how we're supposed to handle this out. Because I have had the effect happen. One of our partner tables killed one of the figures for, I think it was it anti? No,
it was a pro.
Took out a pro figure. I was on an anti, and by the time it got back around to me, the round was over. But I would have been able to heal 1 click, and in our month 2 battle box, I was able to heal Jack-o'-lantern 1 click. But it was just kind of like, ooh.
I know. It didn't have the effect you wanted it. To be honest, Matt, when I first heard the little solicit with the bounty cards, when you think of a bounty, who has bounties on their head usually?
The people
who are breaking the law.
Exactly.
The villains, am I right? I thought there were going to be villain ID cards for a bit there. How cool would that have been? I love ID cards. They're my favorite thing. Stop it. So, I mean, having all like a Red Skull one, or Loki one, or just all the villains in Marvel.
Those were in the set.
They were in the set. I would like them just to have them as prizes, like a gimme to come play, like the ones for Age of Ultron were. If there's just 4 villain ones, fine. But that's what I was hoping they would be. But I got let down.
All right.
Now I have a card that does virtually nothing. It's a piece of paper just sits in my box.
So when you guys do, I've heard some venues that they're saying they're allowing constructed month 4 or a 3 and 4. Are you guys gonna let them bring in the bounty cards that they have for free cost and just be like, I've got all 4 bounty cards for everybody on your team, so if I take somebody out, our team's gaining a life. Are you gonna let that happen, or any plans there?
I think we're just gonna stick with the same. I give them out randomly. But you mentioned constructed. We've actually allowed constructed because we have a sealed and a battle royale.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We've allowed constructed for the second, third, and fourth months. Basically, the second month, well, you can choose one figure from your own collection. It's 100 points or less, and add it into your team, working it into the 300 points. Then the second month, you can choose 2 figures up to 150, so no sentry yet. And in the third month, it'd be 200 points, so you can bust out the sentry finally. That allows people to, I find a lot of my local players like the randomness, but at the same time, they like to think about, like, what's my team going to be like in the weeks coming up to the event? And when it's just completely randomly sealed, there's no thinking there. There's no looking forward to the event. There's no, number crunching. There's none of that stuff. But when you throw in a little bit of constructed with the sealed, then suddenly they're like, I need a trade to get that figure so I can run it on the 4th month. I'm going to do this team, I'm going to do this team. And it makes it more fun. And I think it still gives you some randomness. You can't just build the cheesy. Because you still have to play some figures from your random booster. But it gives you option to build it and be skilled in building your team.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's fair. That sounds like fun.
Well, excellent. Any wrap-up questions for us, Matt? I mean, really appreciate you, doing this collab with us.
Yeah,
being
and
a guest
coming on
today.
and talking with us. This has been really, really fun. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've enjoyed this tremendously. I don't really have any questions for you now.
All right, well, I guess we'll wrap up.
This has been Outstrike, a review of the Civil War OP with our special guest, Matt from Games Rules.
Go check out this from Games Rule.
Yep.
Go check out his channel, subscribe to him, give him some love, guys. He's making some great content about all kinds of things, Heroclix and other games too. So
It's been our honor having you with us, Matt. And until next time, strike first
and strike hard.